Welcome to Digging In. Digging In is all about understanding leaders and what makes them tick. Digging In is about learning from leaders and the difficult places they've been in their life and how they've grown, how they've acquired wisdom through the experiences that they've had. So today we have Michael Scott, who is our coaching director for Eagle Center for Leadership. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you, Melissa. I'm glad to be here.
So, Michael, we've been talking about with our people that receive digging in for the last 2 months. We've been talking about defining your leadership voice, really understanding what is your leadership voice and how can you be aware so that you're intentional to really lead off with the voice that you want. And so we've had some good opportunity to talk to John Paul Campbell and also talk to Steve Meadows and have gained good insight. So today we really want to hear from you. And Michael is our guru on coaching relationships, our guru on understanding people and how do you help people hear a voice and how do you hear their voice. So Michael, talk to us, set it up for us today on what is your leadership voice and why is that important to you as a leader?
Yeah, thanks, Melissa. Yeah, with leadership voice is important because it really helps define how others hear you, as well as how they receive your direction, and even respond to your expectations. And that's important for us to understand as leaders, because if we don't understand that, then we will, minimize the impact of our leadership voice. And sometimes it can actually get us into trouble. And so leadership voice is so very important. And, as I've grown as a leader over time, I think mine has grown and changed some, but, where I really see my voice landing today in this last season of my life has been really around focusing on feedback and coaching and accountability conversations. Because those are really important in effectively leading people that we live with, that we love, that we care about, and so those conversations are crucial conversations that we have, most of us on a regular day, quite often. But it's important for us to realize that in the impact of our leadership voice.
Michael, you do such a great job at that. I've witnessed that. I've experienced that. So let's break down these three areas and talk about them quickly. So feedback, feedback, people may perceive that as something negative. You perceive that as something positive. So break that down for us and talk to us about feedback.
Absolutely. Yeah, feedback is a very positive thing. And I even see where, based on different personality types, people seek feedback in different ways. And so feedback is important. Many times if we have a direct report that is asking for or trying to share information, sometimes that's because they need your feedback on that. And so feedback's something that's easy to do, but leaders can struggle with it. And so it's actually a skill to help provide clear and concise, helpful information when it comes to feedback. Feedback has to be helpful. It has to be effective for the person that you're giving it to, and it has to help them to be able to grow and to know how to move things forward. So feedback is the first step in that, and it's critical to do that well and to get that right. But it can be a very positive thing that moves not only a teammate's development forward, but the relationship forward.
Michael, I've watched you slow down and help leaders really create feedback so they're not shooting from their hip. Slow down and think about who that person that they're talking to is and how do they tailor that so that person can hear it well. And you said something that's so meaningful, that it's about helping that person grow. And so the heart and the mind have to be in the same place for the intent to be able to give feedback that can really help that person grow to the next level as a leader. Michael, talk to us about coaching. So, coaching being that second piece of what you say is your leadership voice. What do you mean by coaching?
Yeah, coaching is a way to, that we invest in other people as we walk with them, whether it's personal or professional. And a lot of times, the key piece around coaching is helping others know what to do different. What are their behaviors to change? What are the things that need to look different? A lot of times that's where leadership behaviors actually change. So, feedback just gives a general, hey, there's something we need to look at. Coaching is how you actually help look at the mechanics and how to change some of the mechanics to have ongoing success. And so coaching is at the heart of growth when it comes to those that we lead in helping them develop.
That's incredible, Michael. It's the mechanics, it's the behaviors. So really focusing in on how can that person help adjust some of their behaviors to be more influential. So talk to us about accountability. That's often seen as a negative word, being held accountable, but talk to us about, why is that part of your leadership voice and what does it look like?
Absolutely. So, accountability, first thing is, there's not a one size fits all there. A lot of times accountability can be misunderstood. It really is about being concerned for the individual and your commitment to help them grow. It's around effectively knowing how to challenge them. And that accountability is not sitting in the judgment seat, but it comes from, because I care about you and want to help you and you can trust me to do that respectfully. That's why we're having the accountability conversation. Accountability is not about discipline. It's about changing behavior and helping people grow. And so it's important for leaders to get that in being able to look at how they're leading their accountability conversations.
So trust is a forerunner for accountability. And that's something as leaders, we need to make sure we're looking at, does this person trust me to be able to lead them in this conversation towards some type of accountability that needs to be looked at. So we need to measure that. We need to look and be aware as we enter those conversations, don't we?
Absolutely.
So feedback, coaching, and accountability. You've challenged us to really look at that and evaluate, are those pieces of our leadership voice and how well are we doing that? So thank you for that insight. I want you to talk to us about coaching in general. You are a coaching director, do such a tremendous job at leading our team to provide coaching services. How can we help? How can we help people that we serve with coaching services?
That's a great question. Leadership coaching, is really important. At Eagle, we provide executive and leadership coaching, and we do that for different industries, different geographic locations, different cultural backgrounds. But leadership coaching is about helping facilitate the leader's thinking, to be able to challenge their thinking and to help them be aware of his or her own behaviors. It really comes down to what are their leadership behaviors. And, when I think about leaders and I think about just in growth, it's important that they invest in their leadership development because, a leader can't lead beyond their own leadership lid. And so leadership coaching is a way to be able to do that. But again, coaching is a way for a leader to grow, but then to also be able to grow his or her skill to effectively coach and develop others. It's kind of that multiplier effect. And so again, it adds value. It helps to be able to move things forward. And and leaders who choose to do that, they really see the difference that they make.
So some of the people that we'll hear digging in are already in coaching. And so we challenge you to be listening and thinking about what is your leadership voice. Those that might not be in leadership coaching, we challenge you to think about that. Is there an opportunity for you to have coaching at your business, or is there an opportunity for you to seek that out yourself? But we challenge you to grow. Michael, you've done a great job. Thank you for today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your leadership voice and how you impact people's lives. We thank you for listening to Digging In. We challenge you, pay attention, be aware. What is your leadership voice around feedback, coaching, and accountability? Thanks for today.